Hi everyone! So, as I mentioned in my mukbang video, I'm going to be doing a 2-month experience video just to let you guys know how I've been for the past 2 months I've been here in Korea. So I hope this video won't be too long. I'm probably going to try to rush things because it might end up being too long if I talk too much. So to start off, if you guys don't know, I am studying abroad in South Korea for the spring semester. It's an exchange program for 1 semester from my college, and the school I am attending is Woosung University, but it's not really Woosung, it's Seoulbridge International School of Business. It's just a I don't know if I could call it a branch, but it's like, it's part of Woosung, but it's like the international school for business. I think Woosung is more of like Korea University, like where more of the Koreans go to, so. And it's in Daejeon, it's not in Seoul. Daejeon is the 5th largest city in South Korea. It's more like in the middle of South Korea, so it's like 2 hours away from Seoul by taking the train. I'm also a marketing major, so that's why I went to this school, just because there weren't other options in Asia that had marketing, so I went here. Also, it offered financial aid, so there's that. I forgot to put on lip gloss. So yeah, it offers financial aid, and like the reason for me studying abroad was that I needed a change of like something in my life. I needed like some kind of change in my everyday life because I was like not really feeling the best, especially from 2018. 2019 I was kind of like hoping for some change of something, so I decided to study abroad, also for like personal growth type of thing, self-love, kind of finding more about myself and like challenging myself because it's such a new thing for me. I'll explain more how I am later though, so yeah. And my parents weren't really okay with it at first, just because I kind of hid it from them. Well, I didn't really hide it from them. I did talk to them about it, but they didn't think it was going to be this semester. But I mean, I did everything by myself. I paid for everything, I prepped for everything, so I figured it was okay. But yeah, after I left, they were okay with it, I guess. I called them, so it's okay. So I'm gonna be going on to the first impression part, just kind of like my first impressions when I first came here and stuff like that. So I arrived on February 24th, which was a Sunday, and I came in the afternoon. I left, I believe, Saturday midnight, or like Friday night, but I think I flew Saturday midnight-ish. So I had a very stressful and tiring day. I was very tired when I came here. But thankfully I signed up for the airport service, which was like the people from Seoulbridge came to like help us get to the dorms. So gotta sneeze. When I first got here, I was really intimidated because, like, even though I knew a little bit of Korean, man, I've been sneezing so much. Even though I knew a little bit of Korean, it was just like K-Town to the next level. Like, I was not comfortable being here because it was such a new environment. or like, you know, just being somewhere new. I'm like a place I'm not familiar with. It was really intimidating. And I felt like I stood out a little bit just because I just came from like America looking like a mess because I didn't really have makeup and I didn't really dress well that day. So I was like, I felt like I stood out a little bit. So yeah, very stressful first day when I came here. But it was pretty good because I met up with the people in my orientation group for orientation week, so it was nice. I thought Korea was very beautiful when I first got here, but it was still winter, so everything was still dead. Like the trees were dead, but I still thought like the scenery was very beautiful. It was very cold still. Like I said, it was still winter. I was not used to very cold weather, like below 50 back at home. Like 50 or 60s is like the coldest for us, but it was like 30s or 20s, and I was like not used to it. I didn't bring as many warm clothes because I figured because it's gonna be spring, I didn't want to bring too many warm stuff. Plus I was gonna go shopping here anyways, so I didn't really bring much. I guess on the way to Daejeon, I didn't really see a lot of buildings. It was more like land. I heard this part of the country is like countryside, but even though it's still like the fifth largest city, it's still kind of like not as populated, which I kind of like. I'll explain more later. Yeah, like in LA, there's more buildings, there's more houses, there's more streets, there's more cars. It's like a lot of stuff. But oh my god, especially in Daejeon, there's a lot of hills. So, oof, it's crazy. But that's sad about Korea. And then I wasn't really good with the currency at first because, oh my god, I knew nothing about the currency except for that it was in thousands. So I had a very hard time paying for things when I first got here. It's kind of funny, but yeah. So now I'm going to be going on to like the culture shock and things that interested me. It's kind of like first impression related, but it's more like culture shock. So, where do I start? I wrote stuff down, but it's a little like not in the order I kind of wanted, so I guess I'll just start with like the way of life here. Obviously it's a culture shock. I kind of notice people live their lives really differently. I find it's a little strange for me because like I see a lot of elderly people out here. Usually when I think of like elderly people, I would think they're retired and stuff. But there's elderly people that are like working and they're like finding ways to get money, I hear. I talked about this with one person one day because I wasn't sure like why elderly people were picking up trash out of the streets and stuff like that. So it was a little strange for me. I'm not really sure how like the lifestyle goes in Korea because I feel like you're a kid, you go to school. Also, I don't see a lot of kids here. I'm not sure why. Like there's an elementary school like literally like near our dorm, but I barely see any kids around. It's quite interesting. So like you're a kid in elementary school, middle school, or junior high. You go to high school. Oh my god. High school. I've seen high school girls here. They wear their skirts really high up. That kind of shocked me a little bit. Then they go to college. People within like their 20s, like their young adult life, people dress really well. Like I notice a lot of people dress really well once they're like older, like in this age. And then I think if you go into like the family path, you have your family, and then I think there's like the other like business path, like if you want to do career stuff. But I don't see a lot of like uh, middle age, not like middle age, but like the 30-40 age group. I don't see a lot of them as much. They're probably in the city, so yeah, like in my area it's a lot of elderly people, and some younger people, which is very strange. But yeah, I don't know how to explain the way of life here because it's a little difficult, but I do notice that it's pretty different. Kind of shocked me a little bit. When I first got here, I guess, or like at the dorms and stuff, like school related type of thing, we had to ride the bus. Like we have a shuttle bus to go to school, but like I would think people would be like really polite to let those who have come first go in first, but it's not like that here. I'm not sure how it is with like other, I don't even know if it's like that back at home, but like normally you wouldn't cut in line when people are there waiting already. Like, you know, it's a thing for me for like to be very polite and stuff. I don't like rushing in before others just because I don't want to deal with all that. So I kind of thought people were impatient and rude here. But I realized people just need to go places and they just need to get in, get out kind of thing. But I'm a very patient person, so I guess it doesn't bother me as much. Well, no, it bothers me, but like, it doesn't bother me that I have to go, you know, really fast. The buses were kind of a culture shock. I don't take buses back at home. I usually drive, so it was kind of interesting for me to take like public transport here. So yeah, the buses, I was culture shocked when it got full, like when it got really packed with people. Like I would say I'm a little claustrophobic. I just don't like being squished in with so many other people. Like I feel very uncomfortable. So yeah, but I guess people need to come in. Like I said, they need to go places, so it's like they have to come in and get in the bus, you know. But I'm kind of used to it now, which I will talk about in a bit. Also, I was a little intimidated by taking the bus, like public transport, not the shuttle bus, just because I didn't know where to go, like which bus to take and stuff like that. So I used to walk from my dorm to school or like anywhere, and normally it'll take like 40 minutes to an hour to get somewhere. But I figured that I should probably learn how to take the bus and know which buses to take. But I have been using like Naver Maps, which is like a really nice way to like map places to go with like Google Maps, you know. So I'm very used to it by now. I thought it was kind of strange how people drive here. Just a little bit, because like I went to the Philippines in January. It's worse than here in Korea because people here are a little civilized. But like I feel like they don't let people, like, you know how they what's it called, pedestrians go first. It's not like that here. If people are in a car, they would drive. Sometimes they would wait, if you're crossing the street, they would wait sometimes, which is really nice, but then sometimes they'll just go for it, and sometimes they run red lights. I almost got drove I almost got hit by a motorcycle when I was crossing the street just because I guess he wasn't impatient. I guess he wasn't patient enough to wait for the light. So that scared me a little bit. People drive here really fast too. I kind of noticed that. So yeah, it's a little dangerous, but I have been paying attention because I don't want to die here. Another thing is smoking, and I am familiar with how much people smoke here in Korea, but it shocked me even more with like seeing women smoke here, especially the younger people. Like at school, I see people probably younger than me smoking, and I'm just like, why? Why? But I don't see a lot of elderly people smoke as much. I think it's because they kind of realize how bad it is for you when you grow up. So, yeah, but that kind of shocked me to see like women, younger people smoking. I'm used to guys smoking a lot. It's really terrible seeing them smoke though, like really bad. It's just such a turn off, you know. So this is, I guess, the interesting part that I find here. I really like their card system, key card kind of thing. There's this thing called Teen Money, which you use to pay for like transportation. So, oh, it's right here. So I use it to pay for the bus. I think you could use it to pay for the taxi and subways or like trains, but I mainly use the bus here in Daejeon. For taxis, I pay with my wands or my debit card. But there's also security keys. We have one for our dorm. Instead of like a lock, it's like you scan the card and then it'll open the door, which I think is really cool. The security systems here in Korea are pretty cool. I kind of wish we had that in the US, but hopefully we'll become a little more innovative, and yeah, there's a lot of cool things here that I kind of wish we had back at home. Convenience stores, there's plenty around. It's kind of my source of meals because I am a bit on a budget for this semester, so I didn't want to spend too much on like certain things, so I kind of budget myself to spend a certain amount, which is kind of only for convenience store food. But I try to treat myself once in a while with the extra money I have. But the convenience stores here are amazing. The selection of drinks and snacks, oh, so good. But it's a little bad because it's not like nutritious for me. I kind of realized that I don't eat very well now, just because yeah, I kind of just go to the convenience store to buy food instead of getting real food. But don't worry. Like I said, I try to treat myself to foods. Oof, the cafes and shopping here is it's great. If you guys follow my Instagram, I've been going to a lot of cafes. I think within the last month. Man, it's a little expensive because they kind of price their drinks like $4 to $5, which is kind of normal back at home, but like for me it's a little too much to spend on like a day, but it's a treat for me. And the shopping here I feel like it's really cheap just because it's like more in the countryside. In Seoul it's a little more expensive. I have gone twice, so it's better shopping here, I feel like, unless you find something really cheap in Seoul. So yeah. Oh, the cherry blossoms, they have passed, but I wanted to come here in the spring for that. That was another reason why I decided to come. But it was very beautiful. It was like such a nice experience to see actual cherry blossoms, because in California we don't really have any, so it was really nice for that. So I have just one more thing, which is just school in general, how things are, and then I'll conclude it. So I guess we'll start from the beginning of school. I'll just start from the beginning when I first got here and like that orientation week. So it was like the last week of February, and it was a whole week of orientation, or just getting to know the school and like how it works and stuff. So with that said, I had to be very open because I was meeting people I don't know at all. Luckily my roommate was part of my orientation group, so she was like the very first person I made friends with. I don't know. She was the first person I got really close with just because we were roommates. So it was really nice. And for orientation week, we had a project that we had to make a video with our group. I don't know why. But my group and we weren't really like close, because like half of them would like want to go somewhere else while half of us actually stayed together. So it was kind of but we ended up making a video. It was mostly just pictures that we took, and we won 3rd place for that, which surprised me, because like being here, like I just got here and then all of a sudden I just won 3rd place out of like, I think it was 16 groups. Was it 16? There was a lot of, was it 16? I feel like it was 8 or 13. I think it might have been 12 or 13 groups in orientation, and like we won 3rd, so I thought it was a bit surprising for me. I'm very proud of myself and everyone else, because I actually worked on the video, so there's that. As for spring semester, kind of mentioned this in my mukbang, I think. I don't know. I'm taking 3 courses. It's a little complicated. Don't want to explain it, but I'm taking consumer behavior Monday, Wednesday, and then Tuesday, Thursday is marketing, principles of marketing, and easy Korean. So the first day of classes, first lecture day for those classes, sorry, marketing, I think marketing was okay. I didn't really, like, I knew a few people, like some people from my orientation. There's this one guy I knew from my orientation group who was in the class, so I was like okay with it. I kind of met some other people, but then I realized that I didn't want to be in groups with them anymore, so I ended up meeting new people, which I'll explain more later. But I think the first class lecture day was okay for that. Easy Korean, I knew some people from my orientation group who were taking the class, but then they went to the other Korean classes because they figured it was too easy for them. So I was kind of left alone with someone else I knew from orientation group, but it's not like I was like hanging out with them. And then for consumer behavior, I remember first lecture day, I was so alone because I knew no one in the class, and we had to be in groups for a project that's due at the end of the semester. And yeah, I felt very alone. Like, I wanted to reach out to people, but then they were already into their groups. So I kind of just waited until someone came up to me. I also thought about dropping the class because it's like, well, I don't want to be here if I can't, like, you know, do anything about it. But I couldn't really drop a class because I don't think I could take less than 9 units, so I had to stay. But this one Chinese guy or a group of Chinese guys came up to me and asked to be part of their group, so I joined them, but I don't really talk to them much unless it's consumer behavior related stuff. But they're still nice people. But overall, consumer behavior I'm okay with. I actually made a few acquaintances or classmates that I'm good with. So I'm okay coming to class. Marketing, I made new friends. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're friends. I would like to call them friends. It's just that I don't really hang out with them as much though, but we're on good terms. Hopefully. And then for Easy Korean, I've made some friends in my class as well. I'm like, I know I say friends, but they're like mostly acquaintances for the most part. I feel like just calling them friends means like I kind of hang out with them and stuff, which is not true. But I mean, they are friends, just acquaintance level type of friends. I also joined club. I don't know if I mentioned that in my mukbang, but I joined basketball club. But I think I'm gonna stop going just because recently, the past few meetings, no one has been coming, so I figured that there's no point in coming if no one else is gonna come. It's a little sad because I wanted to work out through basketball, but I just don't feel comfortable being like the only person with some other people I'm not familiar with, like, you know. But it's okay, I'll probably find other things to do on Monday, Wednesday, Friday nights. And back to the courses, I forgot to mention this, but lectures are kind of taught the same here as like back at home, just a little dummy down, like, I guess. Just because it's an international school and like English is not everyone's first language, so it's a little like dummy down a bit, but it's fine. It's fine for me. There are a lot of group work. I kind of realized that. I mean, there are group projects back at home, but it's like not a lot of group activities. But here it's more group activities. It's okay. And there's this attendance system through an app that we check in, which I think is amazing, and I kind of wish we had that, but it kind of cheats. If you cheat the system, then you're kind of screwed, so just want to point that out. So here's like the concluding part of this video. It's been 2 months, and I did mention like the friends acquaintance kind of thing. I kind of realized that people will get along in the beginning, but like later on they'll find who they want to really hang out with, and it's a bit of an issue for me, which I hope to grow out of, because I'm not good at making friends. I mean, I'm good at meeting people, but it's not like I can keep them as my friend because, yeah, there's a lot to meeting someone, and it's like it's not like you want to be friends with everyone. It's not a bad thing, but it's like for me, I wouldn't. I'm not the type of person who would want to be friends with everyone. But yeah, it's something that I wanted to grow out of, to like make new friends. Not really sure about more friends, but like new good friends, if that makes sense. With that said, I haven't been able to do much in Korea because just because I don't have a lot of friends here. I told my friend about this. I am going to try with the last 2 months to do something about it. I know it's a little too late to say that, like being almost halfway done. But if I don't get to hang out with these people before I leave, that's a little sad. So I have to push myself to try something new, even though it might make me a little awkward and uncomfortable, but I have to try. But even if I don't get to do much here, I'm still very thankful for the experience. Being here for 4 months, it seems like a lot of time, but at the same time, also with the money issue kind of thing, it's, I don't know, yeah, very limited to what I could do, but gonna try to have a good time before I go. I have been homesick lately. Not lately, but like there are days when I want to go home. But then again, it's like I don't want to leave Korea yet, so it's like a mixed feeling of wanting to go home and wanting to stay here. But I do call my family and I talk to my friends. I go on Instagram to do some lives to see how my coworkers are doing. So yeah. But I really do want to go home. I miss it. But I know I'm gonna miss Korea when I come back. So. I notice like people around me, like I guess the Korean people, like when you go out and you're like walking amongst the Koreans and stuff, I kind of realize they do their own thing. Like they don't really bother wanting to know a stranger's actions unless it's very noticeable. People also go in groups, which is something I don't like. I mean, a group of 3 or 4 is fine with me, but like big groups is like not okay. Can't really explain why, but it's not, like I'm not really a group person type of thing. Also, I don't think Korean people see me as a foreigner. I think sometimes they think I'm Korean. I don't know how, because I do have bigger eyes than them, but I have smaller eyes as a Filipino, so I don't know. And I'm probably gonna end up using Korean back at home because I'm learning Korean right now, and I'm so used to like saying random Korean phrases to my Korean friends. So because I also work for a business who's like run by a Korean family, so that might just blurt out when I'm at work. But I think it'll be useful, maybe. And I do want to conclude that I feel like people here should be nice. I feel like not a lot of people, I don't know how to explain it, but like I kind of like said that like people don't really, they just mind their own business. They don't really care about like other people sometimes, which it's okay for me because like when I walk alone on the street, I don't want people like caring what I do or something like that. But like I guess a nice action to like hold the door for someone or like to help them is something people should do more often here. Like I realize when someone walks into like a cafe or something they wouldn't really say hello or something, or they wouldn't say goodbye when they leave, because I know for restaurants they have to greet customers and like say goodbye to them once they leave. So I don't know, with me, I just want to treat people with respect here. I think that was the word I wanted to say. So as much as people probably don't treat each other with the respect, I feel like it's just good to be respectful to people in a country you're not very familiar with. So yeah, I hope you guys were able to hear me. It's a little early in the morning. It's 10 in the morning. My roommate went out to class, so I kind of needed to do this before she comes back while I'm dressed like this. And I hope this video was not too long. I tried to rush this. Yeah, I guess overall I'm okay. I'm not like the greatest mood, or like I'm not in the greatest part in my experience, but I'm okay for now. I guess as the time comes close to when I come back home, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be missing it, so I will try my best to enjoy the last 2 months of my time here. If you guys have any questions about anything, you guys can leave a comment down below. Maybe in my full experience video, or like the last 2 months experience video, I'll probably talk more about how that goes. So if you guys are interested in that, leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to see it. Also, I have some other video ideas coming, but they will take a while to be posted. I guess it kind of depends how the weather is. It's May. I'm recording this pretty late, but it's getting really warm now. But I'm hoping it kind of just keeps it to a nice 70s cloudy, partly cloudy type of weather here, because there are things I want to do that I don't want to do in a hot day. So yeah. Don't forget to check out all my vlogs and any other videos I've posted. It's not much, I know, but hope you guys enjoy them. Guess I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye!